Hey everyone. So yeah, to start, we find out this episode that Vegapunk still had one last trick of defiance up his sleeve, as he played it fast and loose with his orders that rather than installing a self-destruct button, he installed a termination command into Kuma, so making him shut down so that when Saturn pushed the trigger to stop him, yeah, it basically just it wasn't gonna do shit. It wasn't gonna blow up anyone. So it's like, yeah, I love how immediately that the plan to destroy the in order to destroy the in order for the revolutionaries completely went out the window because of Vegapunk. Like, nice on that one. Um, now, so that but that of course still just begs the question: how is Kuma even here? And yeah, like I said last episode, I think it's just sheer force of willpower, and the reason behind, and as like in typical One Piece fashion, it like Vegapunk's whole thought process of how Kuma's even here was cut off. But I think it's reasonable to assume that the reason why why he said that the government fears the Buccaneer race has been their sheer will of defiance, and just and even beyond just their brute strength, they have this innate ability in order to innate innate need in order to rebel. If and but even more than that, like it's the thing that does make the most sense in regards of why Saturn was so intent on making Kuma into a mindless puppet, because much like with the Will of D, the government fears those who are buccaneers for their sheer willpower and defiance of the world. And yet the funniest thing is, they probably wouldn't had anything to worry about if they just left the buccaneers alone, and especially in this case Kuma. And yeah, there's a real tragedy that this is the moment this moment in time was like the true last spark of what remained of Kuma's like free willpower. And seeing Bunny break down while being held in his arms, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely choked up a bit on that one. Now, in saying that, I gotta go on a bit of a rant here, mostly about the Marines and the government, because one line that the Marine said really pissed me off, which is in response to Kuma hitting Saturn. They basically called what Kuma did an unprecedented atrocity, and when that happened, I was like, motherfuckers, when is something not an atrocity with you people? Just breathing in the vicinity of a celestial dragon is a crime in itself, punishable by death, and people get shot at for for it. So really, with all the things you motherfuckers deem as atrocities, what's one more thing? And then, of course, there's Saturn ordering the Buster Call to eliminate everyone on the island. And I'm like, yeah, good luck with that, asshole. The government has tried and failed numerous fucking times to kill Luffy, even with a Buster Call. So that makes this moment any different, asshole. Seriously, Saturn. What the fuck is different about this? Like, I swear there have been countless, there's countless videos talking about this one subject, but the government truly are made up of some of the biggest frauds in anime and manga. That is kind of impressive. Like, it's actually kind of impressive when I have to say they're more useless and more incompetent than every other modern government in existence today. Yes, I went there, I stick by it, that every single modern government in the modern world today is more competent than the motherfucking world government. And I stick by that. Bold claim, I know, but I stick by it. But okay. Now that I've got that rant out of the way, there is an interesting thing to talk about with this episode, though, which is that Kuma managed to land a mortal wound on Saturn with that punch. Now, the moment Saturn recovered, you saw he was bleeding from the arm. His horn was damaged. Like, he did suffer some damage there. And now, this is one of those things where, without giving too much away, To any anime owners out there, keep this in mind because it's something that even I didn't fully clue into until it was spelled out for me. But by the time we reached the next arc, and even then, it wasn't until the actual reel where I realized that where it does come back into play. But rewatching this episode, I actually noticed it this time around, which is whatever makes the Gorosei immortal can in fact be neutralized by use of Haki. So this does expose that the five elders can in fact bleed. They're not fully gods as much as they may claim to be, but that still kind of raises the question of where their power came from. Like, and more so, just what is Imu? Once again, what is Imu if he could gift these powers to the elders? It answers the question that yes, the Gorosei are not in fact true gods. They can be fought, but it's just a question now of where these powers come from. And with that said, oh boy, that one line of Vegapunk throwing Kizaru's real name Borsalino in his face and calling him a sad man, like, you know that shit was personal, and even Kizaru admitted so nonchalantly that he is a pathetic sack of a human being. Like, it's one of those things that's in these little exchanges where, for as laissez-faire as Kizaru has been, you can tell he's emotionally beat down by this whole experience. He doesn't want to do any of this. So seeing Vegapunk, one person he considers probably one of his best friends, throw that in his face, yeah, you can tell for Kizaru Borsalino that definitely like struck a chord with them, and it's like I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of, you can tell with Borsalino Kizaru right now, he's like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I really don't want to do this anymore. Can we just hurry this up, because I don't want to be here anymore. Like, it's hard to tell because of his because of the actor's vocal cadence, but you can't tell. Like with Kizaru, he's clocked, in a way he's clocked out. He's tired, he doesn't want to do any of this anymore, and he doesn't want to kill Vegapunk for sure. So yeah, it's like you're starting to see more of like the humanity within Borsalino here. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. From on Blue Sky, and on Crunchyroll, which you can finish the bell, the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight, very nice signing off. Later, everyone.